Need that to stop wobbling. I forgot my microphone, Merry Christmas. Best bit about Christmas.
Driving.
Absolutely no driving.
Oh, well done. You haven't got a G to spell on the glass, though.
I mean, other drinks are available. Well, yes, Merry Christmas. Here we are again. It's been, what, over a year now since I started making these videos. And as is a tradition now, have a little snifter on the drink, on the video there. So we are going to talk about what we've done this year. You've been more productive than me, actually, I think. At least you made more things.
I've started more things.
Yeah, absolutely. That all counts. So we're going to talk about things we started, things we finished, which won't take very long. And then we're going to move on and we're going to talk about Christmas week. We all like a project in Christmas week. I certainly do. And I've got a little idea what I want to get done. So we're going to do that as well. But first, we're going to talk about 2023 in review.
Well, so I took this as an opportunity to just bring projects I had half started. As things I might do over Christmas. But probably won't because they've been sat there for 2 months already.
Yeah, but
you never know.
No, you've got what I like about your your hobby room. It's good. Everyone has that pile of shame or the pile of opportunity, which is grey plastic. But yours is just loads and loads of half-finished projects on shelves, and you can go to any one at any point and just pick one up.
Yeah, there'll come a point where I think I need to knuckle down a bit, but it's fine because I had big ambitions for this year.
Well, before, so a mystery sheet of paper. I think you should explain to the viewers what this sheet of paper is.
I went back to a message that I sent into our group chat at the start of the year with the projects I was going to work on this year, of which there was 25. I then realised that was ambitious and I was never going to do that anyway. So I then wrote down the projects that in my mind I probably should have worked on this year and would realistically have done some of. And that narrowed it down to 2, 3, 4, 5 to 10. And then on the other side of the page I wrote down what I did instead. Okay.
What I do appreciate about the ambition of that is that 25 projects in a year is more than 2 a month.
Oh yeah, well this wasn't 25 new things, these were 25 things, and it was not the only things I owned, it was 25 things that last year I'd painted some of, so it made sense that I would carry them on.
Right.
So it was 25 live
so
projects. I did not touch most of them, because new shiny things, distractions, 3D printers, new games.
So did you say 3D printers?
It did say, well, 3D printer.
I have to then.
That was a distraction. But yeah, my list was quite long of things I was going to do, and I knew I wouldn't do half of them anyway, but that was fine.
Most of the fun of a project is planning it. So you got the best bit out of them.
Yeah, whereas I think you were a bit more realistic, maybe, with what you were going to get done.
Well, I was realistic in the sense that I said I'm probably not going to get anything done.
But you overachieved because you finished some Germans.
I did. If you scroll back a year on this channel, you'll see I put a video up saying, here's my 1,000 point bolt action German list. I'm going to try and get that done. And I did. And I thought I'd do it over Christmas.
You were going to get it done over Christmas, and it was March.
It was March, yeah. But we glossed over that bit.
But isn't that that's only the same? Finishing it in March for Christmas is only the same as Christmas shopping starting in like September.
Robin, you're all things to all wargamers. You have got a way of logicking out everything.
That works.
It does. That's brilliant. I love that. So, okay, your projects. Maybe go run through what some of those are.
What that I was going to do.
Give us a flavour of what you were going to do, and then we'll compare it to what you did do.
I was going to do small Wars of the Roses stuff because obviously we were playing quite a lot of that, and I needed to do a contingent for Norfolk to finish my East Anglian Dukes and Barons. I was going to do more units for the First Crusade, so I didn't have to keep borrowing them off Martin to make the games look a reasonable size. I was going to do more units for my 28mm Bavarians because I've been dying to play a game of Soldiers of Napoleon since whenever it came out, and I pre-ordered it, and I haven't got around to doing it yet. I was going to do 28mm Baron's War because I've got a small warband done, and I wanted to turn it into 2. I was going to do more to my 1940s French and Germans because I got them done for CrackCon last year, and I was like, but there's just 2 specific lists, so I need some more options. But that's easy because that was just adding, paint a Panther 2, paint a squad. I was going to do the ongoing, 44 onwards, British and Germans in 20mm for Normandy and onwards. I was going to go back and do more to my 1809 Napoleonic project in 20mm using New Line miniatures. I was going to finish both armies for the Sudan in 20mm. I was going to start by Fire and Sword. I bought the Prussian starter set, and we were going to have a game of that when I got that done. And I was going to continue and finish my 15mm epic scale, whatever, ACW project, where most of a reasonable sized Union force is done. I need to do some Confederates, which obviously is just the same models again. What I did instead was we bought a 6mm Crimean project.
We did.
I've looked at it.
I fondled mine.
I didn't get it all out of the box because it wouldn't go back in the box otherwise. But I haven't looked at that really. I bought Epic Pike and Shot because I was going to do 30 Years War. I've taken the rulebook out of the box. I'll come back to that. And then what actually happened was Sam Mustafa brought out a set of rules called Nimitz, which I bought in February, March time. And I bought it. I thought, I like ships. I've had some 1/3000th naval stuff since being a child, basically. I was like, I could strip them because they were painted with enamels in like the early 90s, late 80s. I could strip them, I could base them so they're nice, I could repaint them, and we could do that. And that took me down a bit of a naval rabbit hole.
Just a bit.
So that I spent the next 4 months or 6 months, it might have been, up until CrackCon, pretty much, just painting British and Italian ships.
That was great. I loved that bit of your hobby year because as someone else who loves ships, just constantly getting a text message going, I've done this.
Yeah.
Cruiser Squadron.
Well, it's nice because unlike painting an army, you could play it with, the games we played, it varies. There might be 20 ships on the table, there might only be 6. So painting one is a thing by itself, which is quite nice.
Yeah, you're very nearly there.
Then I bought a 3D printer at the start of the summer, which is both a blessing and a horrible distraction. Obviously being able to print miniatures at whim is wonderful, and there's things I've printed which are others, but it also means when I get an urge to paint a random fantasy miniature or a 54mm goblin, I can print one off and paint it, which is very nice, but it means that I'm not painting armies. I don't care because I like painting, so
yeah,
that's fine. Then I started some large scale figures because I decided that painting busts and things might be fun, and it is. I didn't finish one. I finished one. Then I started some 10mm World War II because I realised I could 3D print the buildings and I could have loads of buildings on the table and it would look cool. And then I started the 28mm Mexican American War for sharp practice, partially because I was interested, partially because I wanted to try out contrast paints and it seemed an excuse to start a new project.
Yeah, I think we spoke about that on a previous waffle.
So that's what, and then so nothing really finished. Lots of new things started.
I mean, they are very nice, the things you started on.
I've been consistently outputting things. They just haven't all been. It hasn't been a coherent. It's been more of a spread.
Well, yeah, spread. It's the shotgun approach.
Yeah.
It's not a sniper rifle hobby. It's a shotgun.
No, very much so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think through my hobby backlog this year. Obviously, did those Germans. And then since then, I have not really finished any other discrete projects. I've done stuff like the Rangers of Shadow Deep games we've had. I've done some stuff. I've done my Ranger, then I've done some monsters for it.
We were saying that's kind of like a bit like the whole, I can print off whatever I want. It's a bit of a distraction.
Yeah.
It scratches a painting itch, but also it's quite nice because actually, when you paint that Ranger, you've done a project. You don't have to paint 10 or 20. You paint those, Baz and Gaz.
Yes.
The ogres.
The ogres, yeah.
You painted 2 ogres. They're the only ogres we need. Well, no one needs more than they're all the ogre a man needs. And I guess that's a project done. You just add, if you're like, oh, I saw these. So I might finish these over. Well, we'll finish these over Christmas. There'll be 2 gribblies of some kind that we use in Rangers of Shadow Deep. And it's more just a case of, well, I don't get to paint pink very often.
Yeah, good excuse.
So, yeah.
So basically, we can sandwich my hobby year with Germans at the start, ogres at the end, and in the middle is a big grey area of literal grey plastic. Because I can't think of it. There must be some stuff I've done. I have painted up a load of ships for Nimitz, but I've not put the label on the base yet.
Yeah, you painted some Japanese, haven't you?
Yes, I have done some Japanese.
I just don't forget you also have been working, which involves painting.
Oh yeah, I've done loads of projects for other people, just none for myself. But that is going to change, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So let's move on to that then, actually, because it's quite depressing talking about the stuff that you haven't done.
I'm not saying it's a failure.
Well, no, you're very good at that, though. You're very good at looking at your hobby output and always seeing the positive. Whereas I look at what I've done and I think, gosh, I could have done more. Because there's a lot of games I want to play and I've got stuff ready. I've got projects ready to go. I just haven't done them. One thing I have done, actually, I did do my Dead Man's Hand buildings.
Yeah.
Done that. And I've surely done something else.
Painted some testimonial stuff?
I have, but not enough to do a warband yet. Not quite anyway. Not for myself. I've done some for commission clients. And, do you know?
Oh, Blood Skies. I painted some planes. And we played games.
We did. I can't believe I forgot that. I knew there was something. Well remembered.
And then you bought more planes and painted them as well.
I did. Which is unusual. I bought them and painted them all within about 2 weeks. That was that did make me feel good about myself. I did do that. Thanks, Robin. All right, well, I feel less bad now, so we can talk about what we're going to get up to between Christmas Eve and March. Because that's what Christmas week is on this channel.
Yeah. Well, what are you... Because you've got stuff hiding, haven't you?
I have. I've got some stuff hidden down here. These are possibly ambitious.
Very ambitious.
Very ambitious. So the first thing is, we mentioned it already, but Test of Honor. I've now played a game of this, and I thought it was really, really fun.
Because you won.
That always helps, but no, to be honest, the way it started out, I did think I was going to get annihilated, but I still had a good time, and then at the end it just sort of flipped. But so I've got some Ashigari Scouts. I've actually got loads of stuff to do for this, and I will get them done. I'm working on Musashi at the minute. My idea is, partly because I love Musashi, but partly because it actually keeps the model count small and I can get it done, is him with a bunch of what would have been his students. So the Ronin figures, the Warring Clans Ronin, I've got a few of them, and I'm gonna try and get enough painted up to be Musashi and probably 3 or 4 of his followers. It's a nice small model count. If I can't get that done in a couple of weeks, then it's because I've had too much beer. So that's project number 1. Project number 2 is where I think the ambition escalates a little bit.
Yeah.
So there is a bit of a backstory to this. I watched you play Martin on his channel at Saga. And I thought that looks really good fun. I'm going to get some. I really wanted to do Saxons, bought a load of them, got another friend of mine to buy a load of Vikings, and he painted them up and then I kind of just didn't do anything. And I bought the rule book. This must have been April, because it was when my second child was born. I remember reading the rule book at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I have distinct memories of that. So it would have been April, and I feel really bad that I've not done anything for that. So I went to the cupboard the other day. I thought, I'll get those Saxons out, and I couldn't find them. But what I did find, that somehow I didn't even know I had, was a pack of Victrix Norman infantry and a pack of their Norman cavalry. So I'm going to be doing Normans for Saga.
Or you could do a Crusade army out of them.
I could, but that's a really ambitious project. So that's not going to happen. I think actually originally I bought these because someone at the club I attended was saying they were going to do a campaign for a game called Lion Rampant.
Yes.
And I went and I thought, oh, okay, I'll take part in that. Campaign sounds fun. And I was going to do a Crusader force for that. And then I played the game and I thought, that's not for me. So I thought I'd sold these, but obviously I hadn't. In Happy Days I haven't.
Maybe you didn't take money for them.
What, when I need
You
it?
have sold them, just haven't posted them.
Better go back and check my reviews. Well, no, I don't think I did that. That would have been unfortunate. So that's what I'm going to do. So basically, the list I put together is just 2 units of Horse Guard, which will both be on horses. So 8 horses.
Yeah.
I've got 8 of these warriors, and then I've got some crossbowmen coming. So it'll be 8 crossbowmen. Then plus a general. And that's it.
6 points.
4 points.
4 points. Yeah, so you're a starter. But then you have enough left over. You can easily make a 5th point up.
Exactly.
And then you've got a bit of...
I could do more horses, so I could have 3 cavalry units, and I mean, there's what, 30 highly detailed models inside here, so that's...
And are you going to make your warlord out of these as well? Because there's enough bits in there to make this command, on the command screen, there's a lot of nice...
I'm not actually, I'm going to use the Reconquer 3D prints. There's one that look really, really nice, and basically I've wanted to paint one of those for a long, long time.
Well, yeah.
And that's my excuse. So that's what I'm going to try and get done. I don't know when it'll be done. I don't think it'll be the 31st of December. But we'll give it a go. It's just nice to assemble the...
No, there's a lot to build there as well. There is quite a few.
Yeah, I always forget. I underestimate how long it takes to build stuff.
Especially for someone that has to scrape every mould line.
Yeah.
And clean every single bit.
I actually despise building them as well.
Yeah, it's weird. I like building kits. Building figures gets a bit tedious after a while.
Yeah.
I think that's what's helped me out with the Crusade thing, because I'm using mostly Victrix figures and they are lovely. But building 16 or 23 unit is...
And Victrix. If you're watching Victrix...
I don't mind this.
Oh, no. What the hell is this?
The only problem is with that is
That's instructions.
It slows you down.
Yeah.
Because you can't clip a load of arms, a load of bodies and clean them all up. You have to clip a figure's worth, a figure's worth, a figure's worth, a figure's worth, and then keep them in little piles.
Yeah.
And then you have to build them, because if you move that pile, you know.
I just feel there has to be a better way than this.
Well, there is. It's called 3D printing.
I'm not buying a 3D
I'm not actually saying that 3D printing models are better than those, because they are very nice. I always say that. I'm just saying it's an alternative.
It is an alternative. But it's an expensive alternative. And I know that, well, you mentioned that 3D printing was a distraction. If I got a 3D printer, that thing would be rinsing my power bills. I would be constantly printing off stuff that I have an inkling to do, and then I'll look at it and paint one and go, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing. But what is, talking to 3D prints, you've got some here.
I do.
Are these your Christmas project?
So
or are these for future reference?
Are actually finished, but they are 3D prints. But I need to do the crew for them, which are printed but need finishing. So that will be something. That will be something I actually try and get done over Christmas, because it's 6 or 7 passengers, and that should be easy enough to do. And then that will be my late war, crossing the Rhine or leaving Holland maybe, platoon of British done, really.
Do you mind if I touch them?
No, that's absolutely
I would
fine.
like to move them around and have a look because they're very, very, very nice. Yeah, I love the weathering that you do on your vehicles.
Trick is to just slap it on, cross your fingers. If it goes wrong, you slap some more on to hide it.
I'm sure there's more to it than that. But yeah, they're lovely. So okay, your Christmas project is to do some crew for those.
Crew for them.
Which is one of the 4 minis?
Yeah.
Because you've got some in there, you've got...
Yes, there's a couple of AB figures in there. Oh no, they're not AB. No, they're prints as well. A couple of crew and pixie suits, and then they do very nice, some passengers in there, which are nicely kind of, all kind of shoulders conjoined in places, so they just drop in and look like there's...
I don't know why, I didn't think buffaloes were that big either.
They're huge, they can hold 30 people.
Yeah.
They're absolutely massive.
The blokes there, scaled against it.
That's a panther. I don't know if this will show up.
Are they the same scale?
I only do one scale. Well, I mean, that's a fit, but I only do one scale. Yes, they're the same scale. I realise I only do one scale. Will do. That's a panther.
Wow.
Well, it's not all of the panther. It's missing the tire, obviously, but...
Yeah, but... Wow.
Yeah, they're big. They're just basically boats.
Well,
not
yeah.
really boats, but... Yeah, they're huge. They can, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't be able to fit 30 minis in there, but... Yeah, they're big, and I think they're ubiquitous with late war stuff, so... That's going to be what separates my 1945 British from my 1944 British. That and some leather jerkins is what's different. And then, I did bring boxes. The trouble with me is, because you said bring some boxes of projects, so you've got stuff to put on the table. But I have a habit of starting stuff, which means I don't have the boxes. But I did.
Oh, right. I see what you...
Or I print stuff as that, but I did dig out some boxes, so I might finish my panther. So this is a Vespid Models. It's a scale model kit, very nice. I won't be doing all the etched brass because whilst I'd really like to, I don't think I've got the patience for it, and I don't think it's a benefit on the table for me to make the individual clamps for the side skirts, the etched brass.
Crikey. Yeah, that's quite
It's a bit of a cop out, but so that needs finishing and painting. I reckon I can get that finished. That's feasible. Then
So far we've got crew for the buffaloes.
crew for the buffalo.
We've got the panther.
Finish the panther, and then Rangers of Shadow Deep. Obviously, having played a game recently, I felt inspired to print off some random figures and paint up to be. Well, I don't want to give out any spoilers, but various monsters that might turn up later on. So there's a couple of. I think they're going to be. I can't know if it's Shadow Knights or Death Knights, but a couple of enemies.
That's cool.
I think we've got about 5 or 6 figures I've printed out that can all just be painted up as and when. But they're nice fillers for, or just fancy throwing some colours around and don't want to actually slog through a project. So it's that paint. I'll paint one and that's something done. That's the perfect thing of.
Yeah, that's why I love doing the ogres, because if you paint historicals, especially if you do a lot of Second World War, you're doing a lot of olive and a lot of khaki. You do sometimes want to just chuck a pink and...
Yeah, you want to spray pink and blue at things.
Yeah.
Things like that. Then, large scale miniatures have been it's something I've experimented with. So, a couple of 35th figures, which would be 54mm roughly. And then, I can't remember what scale, so I think it's a 1/16. Oh, yeah, 1/16 thing is bust. He does have a helmet. But there's something different. And because I'm only painting one, I don't need to write down the recipes because I'm never going to go back and have to repaint that blue. So I can do a bit.
Yeah.
And it might be, I'm going to add, it might be actually I walk into the room and the hobby light isn't on. I'm like, oh, actually under normal light, that cape doesn't have enough contrast. So I'm actually just going to add a bit more light in the blue spine with a glaze, whatever. I do that for 20 minutes and then I just put it to one side again. I don't need to sit painting for hours on end. It's like, I'm going to do a bit. So, but I would like to actually get that finished, or at least.
Well, he's been going for a little while.
Yeah, I've had him going for ages.
Some photos of him.
Yeah, so I need to finish him up. But
so and
these will be going to next year. I think this would be the kind that goes next year where I.
Right, so that's going to be next year.
Well, I think no, this won't be hopefully, but I think the idea of having a large scale. Obviously, I can print large scale miniatures now, which is nice. A larger scale miniature on the go, or two, one or two, maybe a bust, maybe something that's got lots of skins. I can play around with doing skin. Maybe something that's wearing, I don't know, lots of cloth, so I can play around with doing cloth. But I just have a couple of them on the desk that I can just kind of fiddle with when I'm time. It's not, and and it might be some of those things might end up in 3D printing again. They're not free when you print them, but they feel free, which is but
most dangerous price tag.
Maybe models like this. I mean, this one is a really nice resin miniature from FER models, so that I want to finish. But maybe some prints, if I print a bust out, I might not finish it. I might just be like, oh, I want to paint. I want to have a go at NMM on a larger axe, or I want to have a go at the skin.
Just one
and maybe
bit
I just do that because I really like the face of that model or something.
Yes.
And it's just, I don't know. I guess it'd be like someone having a sketchbook and doing studies of parts of the house, or just drawing the windows.
Something you wouldn't go and spend 30 quid on a bus to do,
exactly.
but you would feel bad. 3D printer.
I'd feel bad if I paid. Obviously, you have to buy the STO and that. There's plenty of free stuff out as well, but again, if you want the best quality ones, generally you pay. But yeah, if I bought something, like you said, if I'd spend, I can't remember how much that was, call it 20 quid or whatever, might be a birthday present. And that's like, well, I started that, I feel I need to finish it because.
Well, yeah.
Whereas printing bits and bobs, you might think, I just want to play around with doing X, Y, Z. So I think I might have 2 or 3 busts and large things on the go at a time. Probably very varying.
Well, yeah, it's a good thing to do with. You can come, you can learn, you can do, and then jog onto something else and put what you've learned into practice.
Yeah, play with washes, play with skins.
So this one doesn't look 3D printed.
No, so I found the box. So I think it's a fairly new release. Plastic Soldier Company.
Ever reliable.
Humber Armoured Cars. Again, that just needs some green. They come in boxes of 3, but I'll end up with this box of the other 2 just sitting there for a while because I'm not sure I have a use for 3 Humber Armoured Cars.
I mean,
they're nice kits, and that'll get added to the stash or added at some point. It was just I just kind of took this opportunity to just gather up things that were on my desk and bring them with me. And then on the 3D printing end, these don't have boxes.
These are astonishingly nice for 3D.
They are, and obviously these are on a camera to show us both. You won't see the camera, but they are amazing 3D sculpts.
Do you have a link to a photo of them or anything?
I will send you the link. I can't. The guy's name is Ron Coates. That sells them through Wargaming 3D or 3D, and they are absolutely stunning. He's doing loads of early war stuff, so obviously it fits with my French. So this is going to be my chance to expand my 1940 forces.
Yeah.
And get them done.
The detail, the slimness of the pickaxe and the chains
and the handles that are
actually handles.
Actually handles, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, they're really, really nice.
And then,
sorry. Okay, yeah. So you got more. And you said I was ambitious.
Again, another 3D print for my late war, just to get my Challenger done, because I've got some Cromwell sitting around somewhere, and then I think I'm ready to play some late war games. So yes, this is very ambitious for Christmas time, but this is kind of this is what I'm starting with.
So have you got a sheet of paper that is all these projects written down on it, saying this is what I'm going to do in 2024?
No.
Yeah, you should probably. I think we should do that. I think at the start of this coming year, we should write down a list of what we think we're going to do, and then compare it to what we actually do.
We can run a book on it of how many of those things we actually do. Because I feel like that's probably. I can see me getting easily distracted with upcoming things.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean,
okay, projects. I guess if you start a new project,
Yeah.
What makes you start that new project?
It can be anything. For me, it can be that a lot of the time, actually, what happens is I will be watching a film or reading a book and think, that was really inspiring. So, for example, I was listening to the We Have Ways podcast the other night, the Convoys one, and it made me think, I would love to play a Nimitz campaign. I just had U-boats and convoys. I don't actually know if that would work, but I was trying to work out how you would do it. And sometimes the inspiration I can get from that can be so strong, it actually makes me go and buy something. And I just have to hope it was strong enough to carry me through.
Yeah, and I think they're the projects I don't finish.
Yeah.
I don't finish any projects, it's apparently. But I think they're really the ones where I'm like, oh, I can do that, and that won't take long.
Yeah. Well, this is why actually I think I've got more hope of getting Test of Honor stuff done, because I played the game, I really enjoyed it, but I had to borrow someone's minis and I want to have my own.
Yeah, and you need to paint. I mean, if you do 2 forces, so you can do that one, and the Mushasha, 15 models tops.
Yes.
Couple,
not that
couple
many.
of buildings.
Yeah, and I have actually got buildings for it as well, secreted away, that I bought ages and ages ago and didn't do anything with. But I didn't want to commit to doing them over Christmas because I feel like I've been ambitious enough. But if I do get a bit of extra time, be Japanese buildings.
So we're playing Saga in the new year.
Oh,
maybe.
Undoubtedly. I'm telling you, by March time, it'll be Saga every week. I'll have 2 armies done. I'll find my Saxons and get those done as well. Well, I mean, you've got quite a collection there. I like how what I like about looking at this is it's just Second World War, pink and blue fantasy, a crusading knight, and then Second World War. It's brilliant. I love it. Because it's definitely your thing is the Second World War.
See, that's what I default to, because I'll stick pictures in the grid here and there, and I'll be like, oh, I'll paint the squad of British. It's like, I didn't know what else to do. I've got these projects, I didn't know what to do, so I just paint the squad of British or Germans. It's like my default setting.
Yeah, but it's awesome. Whereas I have done a lot of Second World War stuff. I'm trying to branch out into other stuff because there's other games I want to play and other periods I have an interest in. It's just, I think what I'm going to do this year is try and refrain from committing to some huge project. Because I think if I decide, well, so by a huge project, I mean, if you're going to go and get a full Napoleonic army, 200 plus models, quite a commitment.
Yeah.
And that's going to carry me beyond. What I found is I usually have a 3-month tolerance for a project. If I can get it finished in that 3 months, it will be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Then I run out of steam.
Because that's exactly the same. So, like, when I started Napoleonics, that batch of Napoleonics, I painted 3 units, some skirmishers, 2 cannon, commander, another command base / adjutant figure. And I distinctly remember saying, I know I've said this before, I could probably just work on this for ages because there's loads of variety and stuff. There's loads of variety. I don't think I can get bored painting this. And then the next week, I see something else, and suddenly those figures are sat on the desk for.
Yeah, but you might
6
want to
months.
paint a buffalo or any other vehicle or something. Weathering vehicles is immensely fun.
Yeah.
So it's you want a break from.
I think I always underestimate the time I think something's going to take.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's interesting because that is something I really realised I did when it bit me hard when I became a commission painter. I realised I completely underestimated how long something would take. Undercharged for it. I then had to work really hard to get it done in the time frame I said it would be. And so I'd work overtime and get a really crap pay at the end of it because I completely
undersold yourself.
Yeah, I didn't know how long the project would take.
Yeah.
So I now have a much better idea how long something will take me painting at the different levels to which you can finish a miniature.
Yeah, I think I always overestimate, rather than underestimate how long it takes to paint something, I overestimate how productive I'm going to be. If that makes sense. So my thing is, I'll painting buffaloes, say for example, when I did the sextons in the summer. There's a pair of sextons. They end up taking like 3 or 4 months, off and on, for about 3 months, and they just take longer than I think they would because I'm gonna look up the markings for buffaloes, and before I realise, I've spent an hour being distracted. Looking up, it's useful information. It's still going towards it, but in my mind, I've gone. Oh, okay, I've got how many hours this evening? I can go and sit down. I'm gonna get them all deckled up and that, and then an hour and a half's gone, and I'm looking at pictures of names and that, and then realising, oh, actually, I need to order some decals.
Well, do you know what? We mentioned it earlier, the Crimea project that we both went and invested in. I remember spending an awful lot of time looking at lines of battle and working out what units I wanted to have and what we were going to buy. And I did so much of that when it arrived, I thought, I will paint this. I just don't fancy it right now. And that is something where I have gone, because you kept the box it came in, I have a little tub that it's in now. And I've had that tub out probably 3 or 4 times thinking, should I? But I know that once I start that, I have to commit and I have to finish it because I run out of steam halfway through.
So, I'm easily distracted when I'm hobbying. Not by scrolling through Facebook or anything like that, but just I'll be like, oh, I need to look up that. And then it turns into a bit of a rabbit hole of I don't need to know, like, just to do those two. I ended up looking up the information, obviously, internet's a wonderful thing, it's freely available. The lists of all the buffalo from, was it C Squadron or A Squadron from 11th Royal Tank Regiment, and the trips they'd made on a particular day and what they were carrying, because it was all detailed.
Yeah.
And that was information really interesting. To some people. I mean, I wouldn't say, probably not going to be the topic of conversation at the Christmas dinner table, but if it comes up, I'm prepared.
Let me know if it does.
I might have to force the conversation. Seeing it's just the two of us for Christmas, I imagine I'll get quite a dry response. But it didn't really help me with the project. It was just interesting reading this, and I was like, okay, well.
But at least now you know when you look at those buffalo. In your mind, you know what they're carrying.
I know some research went into that, but it just, for getting things done, there almost comes a point where it's a bit like in, you know, you're playing board games and you've got the people that take too long to ponder, to like analysis paralysis, where like you actually end up spoiling the flow of the game because I guess it happens in war games as well, but not really in our group because we all play to the similar kind of thing, or just edit. Oh yeah. That's the clap. But you get that analysis paralysis where someone takes too long to try and work out what they're going to do, or they've got too many options, and it slows the whole game down and spoils the flow.
Yeah.
I get like that with my projects a lot of the time when I'm doing something, and it's normally probably mid-session, and I'm like, oh, now I need to go and order different size decals from Skytrix or somewhere because I want X, Y, Z.
Oh, then you get the natural delays.
And a natural delay from that because I decided halfway through, I should do that.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that happens, But I don't ever build that, even though I know it's gonna. I don't ever build that into or factor that into how long a thing is going to take. Whether it's how long painting one model is going to take, or whether it's how long doing a project is going to take. So I think that's something that I just don't factor in, and it always happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have been comfortably sat on the fact that I'm waiting for Victrix to send me the shield transfers I need for these before I start them. And then those shield transfers are going to come. And then my plan is to use the colours on the shield transfer to inform the colour I will paint the warrior, roughly, so that it looks like it's a tied-in uniform miniature. And we'll see how that goes. I am very confident that I would at least start this project. And if I start it, I will have to finish it.
Yeah.
I'll have to. Because otherwise it'll just go back in the cupboard and then get sold in 6 months. But, I mean, hey, there we are. Christmas is a time for, unfortunately, what I found last year, eating and drinking. So I did do those Germans. And while I'm very happy with them, there are bits on them I look at and think, I was a few beers down when I did that.
That's fine, as long as you're a few beers down every time you get them out.
Oh yeah, no, it balances out, yeah. And the problem is because over Christmas I start early in the day as well. This is the issue. So you end up not feeling drunk, but you've had enough that you are drunk, and then you look back on your work and you think, oh God, yeah, I was worse than I thought I was.
Sadly, I think painting rather than driving is one of the reasons I don't really drink. Because if we're out for lunch or something, Megan will say, "Do you want a drink?" I'm like, "Oh, are you having a drink?" I'm like, no, because I might want to paint later.
I did do that for a while. Now I just style it out.
It really cut down my alcohol consumption on the basis that I might want to paint.
Wargaming is good for you.
It is.
There we go. That's a bombshell. That's a bombshell to end on. And I'm going to drink because I'm not going to do any painting tonight. So, well, thank you very much, Robin. I am looking forward to seeing how these look in, I don't know, what, 365 days?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Normans at least unpacked.
Ah, well, yeah, there will be. But I haven't unpacked these. I know you have a thing. Robin has a thing for making sure things get unpacked when they arrive. But I don't do because these are stapled. I want to keep the instructions, cruddy instructions attached for as long as possible. Yeah,
but the bags are actually self-seal bags underneath. They're very good quality bags. They're very useful for putting things in that aren't them. So the quicker you get them out, the quicker you put other things in them.
Yeah, but I'll need to keep the excess in them, won't I?
What if you build them all?
I'm not building all of them. Only the ones I'm going to paint. I'm not wasting time on that.
Or are you backtracking on this commitment?
Absolutely not. I've got such a finite time period to get those built and painted. There's no way I'm painting excess.
Are you going to reveal why there's a finite period in the next waffle?
There is a reason there's a finite time period, but now is not the time to disclose that. I will let you know about Project Zeus when the time is right to know about Project Zeus. And unlike the joke, that's not now. So nice. I like it though. We've built some suspense. Well, anyway, all that remains is to say Merry Christmas to you, Robin, and Merry Christmas to all of you watching.
Happy New Year, I guess, because your dad will do one of these in between.
No, definitely not. No, I'll be rolling off the sofa every night. So, well, thank you very much for watching for the past year. It's been pretty incredible, actually, to just do silly videos about a hobby that you like and see other people actually want to watch it. That's always been a surprise for me. So I couldn't do them without you, Robin. So thank you very much. And we will be back in the new year, fresh-faced, with probably a detox program going on and Test of Honor miniatures, a Saga army, all of this, all done. 100%.
Maybe.
No, 100%. But I didn't say when in the new year. At some point in 2024, they'll all be done. Merry Christmas. Oh my God, I've been bursting for a piss for 10 minutes.